didn't get the result you wanted. Can you talk to me about how you saw this one unfold?
Yeah, I mean, the first period's about as bad as we've played all season. I was pretty disappointed in our group, in our level of compete and our urgency after losing the night before. But, we kind of settled in, reset, and got to where we're back in a hockey game. Had a good second period, had our leaders step up, Megs and BB getting us goals. And then pull ahead, and honestly, their goals, the coverage is a little loose, but it's a bad deflection that kind of goes to a guy on the side of the net. It's not a terrible breakdown or anything like that. And then you get into 3-on-3, and so I like that we competed, came back, found a way to get a point, but really disappointed in the first period.
And even in that OT period, it's not as if you guys didn't have your looks. Are there any positives to build on that?
I'm not sure there are. You get breakaways and 2-on-1s and open looks. You got to make the most of it. I think they had one, and it ends up in the back of the net. That's the efficiency you're looking for in overtime. So I don't know if it was a taxing weekend, a quick turnaround. We were at 11 forwards. We had 5D last night. Like a lot of different things that added up, and we just got to find a way, especially with the opportunities we had. I felt good about some of the looks and some of the people in those looks, and just they were more efficient with their scoring chances.
Coming back from that road trip, a lot of conversations around consistency this time of year, how it's been maybe difficult to strike that. And there's obvious injuries to this team as well. How do you reconcile what you expect from your team while navigating some of those absences?
Yeah, we need guys to step up. We've seen it. Sean Barons, Brian Yoon, especially on the back end. And Bear, was out with an illness tonight. So you miss that. But I'm looking for some similar things out of our forwards. Our forwards, it just seems to be the same guys kind of carrying the mail each and every night. When you go down to 11, you're looking for some guys to step up, and some of the reads aren't right, so you get even shorter trying to win. But we just need some more guys to step up. We need some more guys to take on a little bit more responsibility, and at this time of year, you're looking for those kind of players.
I had talked to Jason last night, and you mentioned that he's one of the guys who stepped up tonight, and he's 2 goals. Well, now he's 1 goal short of his career high that he set 11 years ago, and he's only been getting better. He's kind of like those aged wine, just gets better with time. Do you see him doing anything to get better and better every day?
I mean, I haven't seen anything different from day one to now, and I think it's his consistent emotional approach to the game. There's a consistency in the professionalism. Sometimes your career highs come from making good on some opportunities. This year playing with Alex too, that's a big boost. Alex has been one of the best offensive players in this league for a long time, so I think that helps. But actually, this was Meg's first real good game in a while, and I thought he had kind of had a lull where things weren't going well for him, and it was nice to see him kind of draw the line in the sand and show the guys that it wasn't going to happen anymore, and he was going to lead them. So it was a big goal, big effort starting in the second. I'd like to have that start at the first now.
And then Sternberg had kind of a rough start last night with 19 penalty minutes, but played a little bit better tonight. Even kind of fooled someone in the corner. What was your impression of his, I guess you could say, turnaround tonight?
Yeah, and again, the circumstances around his first game are tough. Like, he hadn't been here long, learning new people, new systems, altitude. There's a lot of factors here, right? So it was good to see, a step forward. I thought Timmy played him quite a bit more tonight. Played in some big situations. You can see the physicality. There's some puck play there. There's stuff to work with, right? And I think that's important, is that he's absorbing some of what we've been talking about. And excited to see what 10 to 50 to 100 games, what kind of pro we can have.
I'm sure it'll take some time to think about this game, but in looking in on that first period, you talked about maybe expecting more compete, especially on the heels of the result last night. What is the approach then with the team? Obviously, they answered in-game by turning things around second, third period, but I imagine that's a broader conversation past that moment.
Yeah, and I put that on the leaders at times. The messaging doesn't change a lot from coaches. The days of kicking over garbage cans and hollering and screaming before a game, it's not going to happen. So there has to be an internal drive. We just didn't have it tonight early on. So there's lessons to be learned. There's always lessons, and it's something we have to get past. I haven't liked our starts now for a couple games, and we've talked about it. But ultimately, the players in there have to decide. And it's not a structural thing. It's just an alertness, an engagement, and a ready to play hockey against teams that, when they come to Colorado and play the Eagles, you're going to get their best game. And we have to respect that and bring our best, or it's going to look like that, like it did in the first.
Outside of that internal drive that the players should naturally have, are there any tools at your disposal you can utilize as a coach to spark something, light a fire under some players?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, you're having conversations with guys all the time. You can pick out individuals and have conversations, and you're going to have broader conversations with the group about focusing on that. And it's not that it's gone ignored for the last few. It's something we're addressing. It just got to a point tonight where I didn't like what it looked like in the first period. I thought last night, there was some unlucky bounces that led to more goals. I flat out didn't like the way we looked, competed in our engagement. So it's something we'll address. Thankfully, after this long stretch, we finally got a week here to reset some of the things, and maybe take a 30,000-foot view of what we need as a group, and maybe some goals, and reset for a big road trip.
And this will be my last one, but in looking at Taylor McCarr's game, this is a player that I think has spent a lot of the season trying to learn to do things the right way so that he isn't a liability, but it seems like there's more confidence in his creativity on the offensive side of things. How do you encourage that with a player who's also still trying to learn how to do things the right way?
Yeah, and the funny thing is the discussions we have with Taylor have nothing to do with offense. The discussions with him are about his defensive attention to detail, how he's killing plays in the D zone, because there's some offensive ability. You just don't have to stress it. I think when you kill plays in the D zone, when you're in the right spots, you have the puck on your stick more. And I think confidence comes from touching it more and making more plays and coming up with some successful ones. But I let them play creatively on offense. It's D side that his details have to be right, because ultimately that's the role he's going to play in Colorado and with the Avalanche. And to earn more, he has to be detailed and structured.
And there was a little bit of an inconsistency with the officiating this series last night and tonight. And even someone up in the press box kind of admitted that too, and that they needed to get better at calling plays a little bit more consistently. Was that something that you were seeing on your side down on the ice?
Yeah, there's frustration, certainly. But it's a development league for them too. So just like the players, they're going to make mistakes. They're not perfect. But in setting standards, you like to see them hold to it. But like I said, it's a development league. You got to kind of roll with it, and they're going to make mistakes, and we have to kind of not let that affect what we're doing. Even though it makes it more difficult, it's part of the game, and you have to kill penalties when you're called upon, and you've got to score on the power plays when you get them.
That's all I've got. Thank you so much, Coach.